Good evening. Welcome to FRCmedia News for Thursday, December 5th, 2019. I'm Donna Mata. A corporation registered in Massachusetts wants to open a firm in Fall River and address the City Council this week on its desire to do that. Residents can expect traffic delays and detours in the city's south end. We'll explain why. And the Fall River Historical Society has its Christmas display for everyone to enjoy. We'll have these stories and more, but first, let's check in with Phil Devitt from the Fall River Herald News. Hi, Phil. Welcome.
Thank you, Donna. Good to be with you.
It's good to be with you. Hope you had a great holiday break, and now we're back to business. The City Council met this week, and during citizens' input time, they had a rather interesting request for someone to speak who's not a city resident, but is a vice president at Zenta, a company that's a cybersecurity company, who would like to open an office here in Fall River and wants some tax relief. Before we get into the details of that, Phil, why don't we take a look at the clip that was filmed by our sister station, FRCMedia, to see what Jason Hobart, that vice president, said. What he said was how the company will benefit the city.
We're a cybersecurity company. We help organizations safeguard their data and ultimately protect people like myself and everyone in this room from data breaches. Breaches that I think we've all seen before. We've probably all heard about the Target breach that happened a few years ago. We see it a lot in the news. Credit card companies, consumer-based organizations get breached, and it's our consumer information, it's our private data that gets sold and then becomes a problem for all of us. Our software, our applications, everything that we do helps organizations, large, small, private, and public, address the challenges associated with data breaches. We help them avoid data breaches and control the information that they're sharing with their non-employees and their contractors. The state and local incentives from Fall River and the state certainly make the prospect of coming to Massachusetts particularly attractive. We believe that relocating to Fall River is the right move for us, would be the right move for us. We'll be moving 23 jobs to Fall River over the next 5 years, create 70 new jobs for a total of 93. And a big piece of what we do, and based on the specialized skills of the people that we hire, we're excited to really have an average salary of $60,000 starting salary, and of course that goes up based on experience and specialized skills.
Now, Zenta is seeking tax relief, or a so-called TIF, for personal property in Fall River in order to allow the company to operate businesses in Fall River. Now, from what I understand, Phil, Acting Mayor Cliff Ponte is not a fan.
Well, everybody has their opinions on TIFs and whether or not we're giving out too many or too few and that kind of thing. With this TIF in particular, the agreement would exempt the company from a percent of its personal property taxes that it would have to pay annually, which is a little bit different because the alternative there is you could build the company's tax break around property taxes, as most TIF agreements typically are done here in Fall River. You hear that a company's eyeing Fall River, and particularly a waterfront location, to kind of grow. You think it would be music to the ears of some city leaders because, of course, living here and working here, you hear a lot of buzz lately about upgrades to Route 79 and more solid talk of South Coast Rail, potentially enticing businesses here. And here's an example of a business already in existence that wants to do that, potentially relocating to Commonwealth Landing, although Mr. Hobart, the person we just heard from, said that there's no move has been finalized here, and that the company is still kind of working things out and would consider Commonwealth Landing as a location. You mentioned Cliff Ponte, Donna, maybe not being a fan of this, but the council unanimously approved this break, for lack of a better word. And Maria Marasco, who is in charge of, economic development here with the RDA, basically saying that the company could be encouraged to make use of the Workforce Investment Board or the Career Center when hiring to potentially get some local residents working for this company down the line.
That's right, but the city's tax increment financing board did also approve this TIF last month. Again, we'll see what happens with the city council in the long run. All right, and then there's some developers who have their hands out for cash and got some for redevelopment projects in the city. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so sort of, I guess, related issue here. Fall River, of course, has a lot of history, and from a preservation standpoint, it's always encouraging to see that history, getting preserved and potentially given new life. So 2 buildings in the city are getting a hefty sum of money to the tune of $1.3 million in grant funding. I'm talking about the Benjamin and Nathan building on Pleasant Street and the former Trolley building on 3rd Street, which are being redeveloped by Anthony Cordero, who's a familiar name here in the city. The grant was awarded by the State Department of Housing and Community Development along with Mass Housing. And we're talking about housing units here. It's looking like a little more than 20, I believe 22 one-bedroom units at an estimated $5.5 million. 12 of those units would be at market rate and 10 would be designated workforce housing. I think Mr. Cordero was smiling today because it's not every day that you get $1.3 million put in your lap for a project that's obviously going to cost a bit more than that, but this certainly advances things. Yeah,
absolutely, and it would be good for the city should it go through. All right, and to wrap up our segment, former city administrator Kathy Ann Viveiros had some property problems, I should say, with her assessment, and I'm saying problems, quote unquote. The report on that housing issue came to light recently, and you can go into the details of that.
Yeah, so this stems back to earlier in the fall when Acting Mayor Ponte, having just taken office, really, ordered a review of property assessments taken at Kathy Ann Viveiros' Hathaway Street home. The report, details of which we published this week, along with an earlier check of records, indicate the home underwent significant renovations, but plunged in value from about $192,000 to $136,000 from 2016 to 2017. So, as the report was completed just the last couple of weeks, Viveiros, of course, resigned as city administrator, and shortly thereafter, Ben Mello, the assessor here in the city, resigned. Mello this week has been vocal in disputing the findings of this report. He's criticizing an assistant assessor in particular for allegedly not properly inspecting the property. He went on WSAR, Mello, this week to...
Yes, I heard that. I heard the interview.
The report. And he's saying, another thing worth noting here is he's saying that, there are thousands of incorrectly valued properties in the city.
Well, he did say that, but I don't think he meant it was that black and white, because from what I understand, assessing is somewhat subjective as well. So he was saying that there may be, misinterpretations of some properties. He did say that, yes. Right,
and those remarks in particular are of course, I think being questioned by Financial Services Director Mary Sahadi and the Chairman of the Board of Assessors. To your point, Donna, we talked to Mayor-elect Paul Coogan about this. He said that he'd keep his eyes on the assessor's office once he takes office in January, and could potentially look to make some improvements to policy and procedure. So, more to come.
Yeah, that's right. There's always more to come, right, Phil?
It's more to come, Donna.
Speaking about more to come, what's happening with the reporters and the newspaper this weekend?
Well, it's the holiday season, so we're trying to stay focused here and
calm, right?
Not lose too much fun. But people out there doing their Christmas shopping right now. We have a report from our lifestyles editor Linda Murphy about some new items at Portugalia Marketplace. Which, of course, is familiar to a lot of people for food and beverages, but selling some other stuff now, home goods, you could say. So we've got the whole story online, and we'll have it in print this weekend.
Very good. And the Children's Christmas Parade is coming up on December 7th, I believe, stepping off from Kennedy Park at 1 o'clock. followed by the Christmas tree lighting or holiday tree lighting, I should say, at Government Center, following that at, I believe, about 4 o'clock. So all that'll be in the paper as well, I'm certain, as we will have the same kind of news.
Absolutely.
All right, Phil, thank you very much. We enjoyed having you on our show, of course, once again, and next week you'll be back with Keith.
Absolutely. Thanks, Donna. Take care.
Thanks. You too. Have a great week. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Direct Care Aid, Community Connections Incorporated, located at 1784 North Main Street, is looking to hire a part-time direct care aide to assist adults with developmental disabilities. Job number 1290746. Restaurant Manager, Barrett's, located at 4171 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time restaurant manager, responsible for managing restaurant marketing strategies, recruiting and hiring staff, training and overseeing food quality, as well as greeting and serving guests. Job number 129093551. Customer Service Teller, Citizens Bank, located at 333 Mariano Bishop Boulevard, is looking for a full-time customer service teller to provide exceptional customer service and accurately and efficiently process customer service transactions. Job number 129055551. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, is looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Physical Therapy Assistant, job number 1290682. Patient Access Coordinator, job number 1290673. Bay Coast Behavioral, located at 170 Pleasant Street, is also looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Behavior Therapist, job number 1290726. Clinician, job number 1290747. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Fall River residents can expect detours and traffic delays in the city's south end this week due to a construction project that officially started on Monday. Here's more from the city's engineer, J.R. Fry.
We're kicking it off with underground work this fall and into the winter. And in the spring, we will be doing surface restoration. Along with intersection improvements at Mariano Bishop Boulevard, there will also be some intersection improvements at William Canning Boulevard to improve service that you're getting at that signal, to reduce wait times and to hopefully reduce and possibly eliminate some of the backup that's occurring onto the Route 24. There will also be improvements at the Tucker Street intersection. All of these improvements are designed to improve ADA accessibility throughout the city. In fact, some of the ADA improvements that we're making at the South Coast Marketplace are going to extend pedestrian access right onto the property, which has been something that has been missing for a long time. We're looking to have it completed on or before June 30th of next year.
What's the cost?
Total bid cost is about $5 million. About half of that is funded by utilities, and the other half is right now funded by MassWorks, and provided we get the complete streets funding we're looking for, that will be the other piece.
Fry also said that the work around Tucker Street will be completed probably by December 24th, which is, of course, Christmas Eve, weather permitting. And speaking about weather, with the cold weather descending upon Fall River, homeless shelters are already filled to capacity. Here's Rosa Medeiros from First Step In.
We have 50 beds, as you know. They're all open now. They're actually all full. A few left over, not many. And we keep trying to house. We've actually housed a lot of people this week, so those beds will become available, which is good. But the inventory of beds are minimal. The winter overflow from the churches only begins in January.
Breathe, Wayne, breathe.
So basically, we're trying to house people as quickly as possible so we can utilize all the beds we have here. The CSPEC workers are working miracles. They've actually been housing an average of 3 to 5 people a month, so that's helpful. But it is, we're going to be going over capacity, I think.
Other news, the Lafayette Durfee House in Fall River is offering a special cooking class this weekend. There's still time to sign up for the course via the museum's Facebook page. Executive Director David Jennings explains.
What it entails is it's a hearth cooking class. The meal will be prepared here on this open hearth cooking, and we'll be cooking a pork loin roast and with all the vegetables. And what you do is you pay. For this weekend, it's going to be $50 a piece, and you get to help prepare the meal and learn how to cook on the hearth, and as the meal is finished, you get to eat what you prepared. So it's a lot of fun. It's held to a limit of 4 people.
What is the challenge of this kind of cooking?
The challenge is getting the right fires, the right temperatures, and having things ready to go. It actually doesn't take a very long time to cook on the hearth. People think it took hours and hours, but it doesn't. It takes basically the same amount of time as you would cook in a regular oven. But there's a lot more preparation work to it. There's a lot more, say called science to it, and a lot of experience. But you get to learn how to do this. It's a skill that has been lost through the ages. And if you ever have a power outage and you have a fireplace, you'll be able to cook.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Thank you for considering a homeless pet today. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see, and as always, please feel free to contact the shelter before coming down to make sure that the pets you're viewing are still available for adoption. We can be reached at 508-677-9154.
Today we have Hooch. Hooch is a 7-year-old pit mix, and he's just a big love bug. He loves toys, loves treats, loves to go outside, and loves to give kisses. Hooch would probably do best in a home with older children, 10 years or older. But Hooch would probably make a great running companion or hiking companion. I bet he would just love to spend all of his time outside playing with a special friend. So if you want to see Hooch, come on down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter at 300 Linwood Street and say hello.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Apollo. Apollo here is a black and white short hair, about 3 years old. As you can see, he's very friendly. He's rolling around for attention right now. He and his brothers, actually, we have more that are very similar to him. Very good personality, very playful and very personable. And you can see he gives a little meow like, hey, give me attention. So Apollo was cooped up for a while before we get him into this communal room where he's been living with other cats. He was cooped up because he hadn't been neutered yet. We needed to get him neutered before he came in here. That way he wouldn't be spraying everywhere. But that's a good thing, because when he goes to your home, he won't be spraying anywhere either. So if you'd like to meet Apollo here, come on down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Welcome back. As happens every December, the Fall River Historical Society has its Christmas trees on display for everyone to enjoy. Here's a sneak peek at one of them.
Christmas this year at the Historical Society is, I think, one of the most over-the-top that we've had in the history of our decorating. The particular tree behind me is Winter Revelry. It's pretty much a tree covered with an avalanche of snow, decorated in glass and silver, with just a nice touch with some drifts on the ground and some little ice pool. With silver pitcher and goblets, spilled ice cubes over the ice itself, and generally it's an ooh-ah moment when people walk into the room.
That's it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can catch FRC Media News Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m., but our online news site is available 24/7 at frcmedianews.org. Until next Thursday, we leave you tonight with whether Fall River children would like to see it snow.
Yeah, because I like playing in snow and it's fun. I want it to snow on Christmas so we can go out and make snowmen. Yes, so I can go have fun in the snow. I want it to snow so I can have a snowball fight with my sister and get a headshot.
Yes, why?
Because I want to play in the snow and make a snowman.
No, because I don't like snow because it's cold and it like kind of cools my feet. And I feel like I'm gonna slip and fall because I have a hail going down my driveway. Because I like making snowmans. Yeah, because then you could like play in the snow.
Because I like eating snow.